Have you ever checked your phone, put it down, and then picked it up again? 30 seconds later, no notification, no message, nothing changed, literally nothing. The screen looks exactly the same as it did half a minute ago. So why did you do it? You weren't expecting a call, you weren't waiting for anything important, you just did it like your hand has its own brain, like your thumb has a PhD in screen unlocking and it's just doing its job whether you asked it to or not. Today we're explaining why you check your phone every 5 minutes, simply because that's what we do here at Simple Wise Way. We take things that seem completely normal and show you the weird psychology hiding behind them. And this one is weirder than you think. Let's start with what's actually happening inside your brain every time you pick up your phone. Your brain runs on a loop, a very simple loop. Step 1, check phone. Step 2, look for reward. Step 3, nothing. Step 4, try again later. That's it. That's the whole program. Your brain is running this script on repeat like a broken computer that nobody knows how to restart. This is called a dopamine loop, and once you understand it, you'll never look at your phone the same way again. But here's the important part, the part that changes everything. Dopamine doesn't come from the reward, it comes from the possibility of a reward. Read that again. Your brain doesn't get excited when you find a notification. It gets excited before you find it. The anticipation is the drug, the maybe is the high. The actual notification is almost irrelevant. This is why you can check your phone, find absolutely nothing, and still check it again 2 minutes later, because your brain doesn't care that there was nothing last time. It cares that there might be something this time, maybe this time. That's the thought, that little whisper. You don't even hear it consciously, but it's there, running in the background, on repeat, every few minutes. Maybe this time, maybe this time, maybe this time. And here's where it gets really interesting. Your phone works exactly like a slot machine, and I don't mean that as a metaphor. I mean the psychology is literally identical. Slot machines are designed around something called variable ratio reinforcement. That's a fancy way of saying the reward comes randomly. Sometimes you pull the lever and you win, sometimes you don't, and you never know which pull will be the one. Your phone does the same thing. Sometimes you check and there's a message. Sometimes there's a like. Sometimes there's nothing. And that unpredictability is exactly what makes it addictive. If you got a notification every single time you checked, it would actually be less addictive because your brain would know what to expect. The uncertainty is the hook. This isn't an accident, by the way. The people who design apps know this. They studied this. They built entire systems around this. The little red dot on your app icon, the pull down to refresh gesture that feels exactly like pulling a slot machine lever, the slight delay before your feed loads, which builds anticipation. All of it is engineered to keep your dopamine loop spinning. You're not using your phone is using your dopamine system, and it's really good at its job. Now let's talk about notifications for a second, because notifications are the fuel that keeps this whole engine running. A like, a message, a comment, a reply, a retweet, a follow. These are tiny rewards, incredibly small. A like on your photo takes someone half a second to give, but to your brain, it's a hit. A small one, but a hit nonetheless. And your brain learns fast. It connects the action of checking your phone with the feeling of getting a reward, even if the reward only comes 1 out of every 10 times. That's enough. Your brain logs the pattern. Checking equals good. Checking equals possible reward. Keep checking. This is classical conditioning. Pavlov's dog heard a bell and started drooling because the bell meant food was coming. You hear a notification sound and your hand twitches toward your pocket because the sound means dopamine might be coming. Same science, same loop. You are Pavlov's dog. Your phone is the bell. I'm sorry, but it's true. And it gets worse, because at some point your brain doesn't even need the bell anymore. You don't need to hear a notification. You don't need to see the screen light up. The mere thought that something might be there is enough to trigger the check. Your brain has automated the whole process. It cuts out the middleman. But here's the real trigger behind all of it, the thing that starts the loop every single time. And it's not what you think. It's boredom. The moment your brain has nothing to do, even for a few seconds, it looks for stimulation. It scans the environment for something interesting, something engaging, something that might produce a little hit of dopamine to fill the gap. And your phone is the fastest, easiest, most accessible source of stimulation on planet Earth. It's in your pocket. It's always charged. It has infinite content. It requires zero effort. Your brain did the cost-benefit analysis and the phone wins every single time. Why sit with boredom for 30 seconds when you could scroll through an endless feed of content designed specifically to keep you engaged. Here's the problem though, your brain is terrible at doing nothing, like genuinely terrible at it. Studies show that people would rather give themselves an electric shock than sit alone with their thoughts for 15 minutes. An actual electric shock, that's how much your brain hates having nothing to do, and your phone exploits that perfectly. Every moment of silence, every pause, every gap between activities, your brain flags it as a threat and your phone is the solution. Waiting in line, elevator ride, commercial break, red light, the 2 seconds between sending a text and getting a response. Every single micro gap in your day is now filled with your phone because your brain won't tolerate the emptiness, and this is where it shifts from a habit to something deeper. At some point, you stop choosing to check your phone. The decision disappears. Your brain does it automatically, like breathing, like blinking. You don't think about it. You don't decide to reach for it. Your hand just moves. Your thumb just swipes. Your eyes just scan. It becomes what psychologists call an automaticity, a behavior so deeply encoded that it bypasses conscious thought entirely. You're on autopilot, and the autopilot has one instruction: check the phone. That's why you can check your phone, lock it, put it down, and unlock it again 3 seconds later without even knowing why. You literally have no idea what you're looking for. You already saw everything. Nothing has changed. But your hand did it anyway, because your hand doesn't work for you anymore. It works for the loop. You've probably done it while watching this video, maybe twice. Maybe you didn't even notice. That's how deep the automation goes. You can be watching a video about checking your phone too much and still check your phone too much. The loop doesn't care about irony. Now, here's something nobody talks about: the phantom notification. You felt your phone vibrate in your pocket. You pull it out. Nothing. No notification. No message. No call. It didn't actually vibrate. Your brain made it up. This is a real documented phenomenon called phantom vibration syndrome. Studies show that almost 90% of phone users have experienced it. Your brain is so tuned into the possibility of a notification that it starts hallucinating them. It creates fake signals to justify checking. Your dopamine system got tired of waiting for a real trigger, so it manufactured one. Think about that for a second. Your brain is literally lying to you to get you to check your phone. That's how strong the loop is. And here's maybe the most important thing I'll say in this entire video. There's a cost to all of this, and the cost isn't just time, although it is a lot of time. The average person checks their phone 96 times a day. That's once every 10 minutes. Some studies say even more. But the real cost is something called attention residue. Every time you check your phone, even for 2 seconds, your brain has to context switch. It has to leave whatever it was doing, process the phone check, and then try to return to the original task. But it doesn't return cleanly. A little residue stays behind. A little fragment of your attention is still on the phone, still wondering, still running the loop in the background. So you're never fully present, not in conversations, not at work, not while eating, not while watching something. There's always a piece of your brain allocated to the phone, always a background process running. Should I check? Has something happened? Maybe this time. You're physically here, but mentally, a part of you is always somewhere else. Always on the phone, even when the phone is in your pocket. But here's the thing I want you to remember. You're not crazy. You're not weak. You're not addicted because you lack willpower. Your brain is doing exactly what it was designed to do. Seek reward, avoid boredom, find stimulation, repeat. These are survival instincts. They kept your ancestors alive. They made humans explore, discover, and innovate. The problem isn't your brain. The problem is that your brain's ancient reward system is now connected to a device that has unlimited content, unlimited notifications, and was designed by thousands of engineers whose entire job is to keep you checking. Your Stone Age brain is plugged into a 21st century dopamine machine. Of course, you can't stop checking. The game was rigged before you started playing, so what can you do about it? I'll keep it simple, because that's what we do here. Notice the reach. You don't have to stop checking. Just start noticing when you do it. That moment your hand moves toward your pocket, just notice it. That tiny act of awareness interrupts the automaticity. It puts you back in the driver's seat, even if only for a second, and sometimes 1 second of awareness is all it takes to break a loop. Your brain isn't broken, it's just running a very efficient program that no longer serves you the way it should. And the first step to changing any program is seeing the code. Now you see it. If this made you think or laugh or feel a little more understood, subscribe to Simple Wise Way. We make the complicated simple and the invisible visible. That's the whole idea. And tell me in the comments, how many times did you check your phone while watching this video?